Pills! You love them, most hate them, but let's rank them anyways. The game actually gives each pill its own status of positive, neutral, or negative. Now, we will also be ranking them by their class, which is the game's ranking of how impactful the pill is during a run. The last thing we're going to be ranking them by here is just my opinion, how useful the pill is. First up is Bad Gas. So what this one does, Isaac farts, dealing 5 damage and poisoning enemies around him. Now, the game classifies this as neutral, and it's kind of around neutral. At least this does a positive effect, so the usefulness here is definitely going to be +1 and not 0. Polarity, again, is from the game itself and is just marked as 0. And really, the only thing to note of here is not useless, because it does do damage, but the usefulness isn't really all there. So it's really just kind of, it's kind of right there. All right, next up is Bad Trip. What this one does, it deals a full heart of damage to Isaac. But the thing to note here is when using the Bad Trip pill, when Isaac is at a single heart or less, it turns into a full health pill. So there is actually a lot of cool usefulness for this pill. Most of the time, it's going to be a negative effect and do damage to you. But after you use it once, you are able to tell when to use it correctly. So it does actually have some usefulness, even though the polarity is a negative here. It goes still on the top of the graph, but it's still not the best thing to find. But hey, at least it's useful. Next up here, Balls of Steel. There's a reason so many people love to say balls in the game, and this is one of the 2 reasons people love to say balls. But it's a positive effect. What it does, it grants Isaac 2 soul hearts straight to your health bar. So even during the ultra hard challenge, where no hearts can spawn, this still goes straight to your health bar. It's really good. It's just good. It's really good. The polarity the game gives it is insane. The game gives it a +3 polarity. Don't ask me why. In my head, it's a 4 out of 4. Fantastic. That's why the usefulness here is definitely a 4 out of 4. The only reason it could not be the best is because obviously some characters don't take soul hearts. So this is kind of useless on what the Lost, the Keeper, other characters like this. So maybe not on all characters, it's a 4 out of 4, but in my heart of hearts, it's one of the best things you can find. Next up here is the Bombs Are Key pill. This is one of the most neutral pills, at least in my opinion. The game classifies it as neutral. My usefulness is neutral. The polarity is neutral. It's all zeros across the board. But what this one does, it swaps the values of Isaac's keys and his bombs. So also the thing to note of here, if you have golden bombs, it switches over to golden keys, and etc. If you have golden keys, it switches back over to golden bombs. So this can be really good. It can be very annoying. It could be completely useless. Like, this is the most up in the air, could throw your run, could make it better, could do absolutely nothing. It is very low impact unless you get it super early and you're like strict and didn't have one resource. It's really just kind of there to be there. So it's going right there. All right, next up is Explosive Diarrhea. Again, the game classifies this one as neutral, and I give it a usefulness of +2 actually. What this one does, it spawns a lit bomb under Isaac every second for 5 seconds. So it spawns a total of 5 bombs underneath you while you're walking around the room. Now, on paper, this will probably do damage to you. Not a good thing. But why did I give it a usefulness of +2? Because this is basically just free bombs. You can use the bombs for so many things. You can use the bombs to blow up tinted rocks, to find crawl spaces, to blow up pots, to blow up shopkeepers, to get your secret rooms, to get your super secret rooms, to deal damage to bosses, to deal damage to enemies. There's a lot of opportunity here, okay? No one dissed the opportunity an Explosive Diarrhea pill can give you, okay? And for that reason, it's going it's up there. Pretty good. Next up is the Full Health pill. So this is the same thing as the Bad Trip pill, but without the Bad Trip part in it. So it's a positive pill, obviously. It does have a bit more usefulness than the Bad Trip pill, obviously. But what this one does, it refills every empty red heart container you have. So obviously the only bad part about this pill is it doesn't do anything for characters that can't have red hearts. So characters like, what? Tainted Bethany, Blue Baby, Tainted Blue Baby, The Lost, all the other guys. This does nothing for you. But for the characters that do have red health, this is actually very useful, especially in someone like Maggie, where you can use it, obviously, for the sack rooms to abuse the red hearts you got, abuse the sack rooms, get free stuff. There is a lot of usefulness to this pill as long as you have the health to play with to use it. So for that, I only give it a +2. It's decent to have. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's pretty cool to find every now and then. Hey, next pill is the You Subscribe pill. What? Increases the happiness of one person and you get to be cool officially What? I didn't know this was a pill. Guys, I think this is the best pill in the game. Next up is the Health Down pill, one of, in my opinion, the worst pills probably in the game. On paper. Okay, listen to me, on paper. What this one does, it removes a red heart container. If you do not have a red heart container, it will take away a soul heart from you. Now, the big thing to note here, similar to Bad Trip, if you have one heart container or less that is red, you will then get another heart container for free. It turns into a health up pill, which is really cool, which makes it so these negative pills like the Health Down here, it does have usefulness. Now, it's not super useful, but in my opinion, getting a free soul heart, getting a free heart container when you have the chance to, is really nice to get. And it does have, in my opinion, pretty good usefulness. Surprisingly, I know. But with this, obviously, you can go to the devil deals, take all the deals in there, remove all your hearts down to 0, use the Health Down pill, which will then now be a health up pill, and then boom, bam, you got a heart to play with. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, pretty useful in some weird scenarios. But honestly, hey, it's going pretty. I kind of want it sometimes, maybe. So we basically just talked about this pill. It's the health up pill. Now it's the health down pill, but with, the no downside. It's only good side. You only get the health up, and if you don't have red heart, you get a soul heart. Boom, bam, wow, it's pretty useful. Anyways, I don't know the spiel about this one. Getting a heart container, again, it's just good. You get more health and more things to play with. Again, only useless on Keeper, Lost. I think that's about it. I probably am missing somebody. But hey, at least it gives you a soul heart if you don't have red heart containers. And it gives you stuff. That's cool. That's neat. All right, next up is the I Found Pills pill. The game classifies it as neutral. I classified this as super stupidly useless. It does literally nothing for you. But what it does, it changes the appearance of Isaac's face. This pill is cosmetic only, and the effect disappears when Isaac leaves the room. Okay, this is quite literally does absolutely nothing. It is completely useless. It doesn't hurt you. That's why the polarity is 0, not like negative something. But listen, it's useless. There's no uses for this pill ever, unless you just love how Isaac looks after you take it. So it's like down there. You never want it, just because it does nothing. Next up is the Puberty pill. So this is a weird one, but what it does, it causes Isaac to grow 4 hairs from the top of his head and zits on his face. The pill is cosmetic only, but after consuming 3 puberty pills, you get the adult transformation, which basically just grants you 1 heart container, and your voice is now funnily deeper. It's a silly thing, but it does at the end of the day give you a health up. So because it does eventually give you a health up, it does have usefulness if you find enough on your run, but again, you most likely won't find 3 of them in your run unless you're really looking for them. So if you're lucky, it does something useful. If you're not lucky, it doesn't do anything bad for you. It's not terrible. So it's not like high up there, but like it's there. It's sitting there. All right, next up, I doubt I'll get any flack for this, but Pretty Fly. Pretty Fly is super underrated in my opinion. I feel like we don't talk about the Pretty Fly enough. But what it does, it grants a fly orbital up to a maximum of 3 that circles the player and blocks projectiles and damaging fly type enemies on touch. Now, you're never going to use this for damaging other fly enemies on touch, unless you're just really lazy against those black flies that fly around. But being able to like deflect shots, being able to block shots that come in on occasion is very, very nice on any character. No matter the character, low health, high health, being able to have a chance to just not take damage when you would have otherwise taken damage, this is really good. I feel like we don't talk about this enough. Being able to block stuff, hey, it's good. Now, don't get me started about Cube and me. That's a whole different story. But again, positive effect. I do think it is really good. It is very useful. You never are sad to see a Pretty Fly. Okay, maybe you're sad it's not a balls pill, but hey, it's a Pretty Fly, it's Pretty Fly, and it's pretty cool. All right, next up into all the pills, they give you stats up, stats down, but starting with the range down pill here, obviously it's a negative effect. It gives you -1 range as is. Now, polarity, -4. You never want to see it. It's not good. Usefulness, -4. You never want to see it. It's not good. Now, as negatable as range is at times, it's still not good to find. I don't think anybody's like, yeah, range down pill, unless I can't even think of a scenario. Maybe if you're fighting the beast and have Ipecac and your arc shots are going too high, maybe a range down is good. Okay, maybe I should make the usefulness a -3. It's too late. I made the graph. I made the chart. It's -4. I'm going like spoilers. All these like down pills are just going to be -4s across the board. Like I don't know where else to throw them. They're down there. Okay, bad pill. But on the other side, the range up pill, a positive effect. Now again, this one gives actually a little more stats. It gives you 1.25 range compared to the -1 range the range down pill gives. So it gives you a little more. than if you would have lost it. But range isn't all that good unless you're on someone like Azazel. So it's not that useful, if we're being honest. But it is still nice to see, maybe if early game, if you don't have a lot of range, if you're playing Kane, Azazel, just people with short range, being able to have a little bit more is very nice to have. Now again, polarity is +4. It is a positive pill effect. You're never sad to see it, right? Unless you're like the Forgotten and then your Bone Club swing goes over things. Okay, I'm like talking myself out of it. I already made the chart, you guys. Boom, bam. Range up, it's right there. Okay, moving on to speed down. Hey, spoilers. It gives you a -0.12 speed. This is just enough speed to make it annoying. Okay, now speed, I don't think is the most important thing out there. Just making sure you're around 0.9 and higher. I think you'll be fine throughout most of the run. Now, a speed down pill, it is annoying to see. But that's about it. It's just kind of annoying. It's not useful. It's not good. It's down there with all the other bad things. Okay, next up is the speed up pill. So this one gives you 0.15 speed. Again, the same kind of trend where the up pills give you a bit more stats than the down pills typically do. So again, positive effect. Speed is nice. I don't think it's super useful because again, as long as you have decent enough speed, you probably don't need even more speed. And having 2 is a bit excessive unless you're just really wanting to show off how fast you can go and not get hit. Then cool, kid, have fun. But otherwise, usefulness is only +3. Again, it's a positive effect, so it's +4 polarity. So it's going up there, but it's not super high over there, okay? Okay, next up, my least favorite pill in the entire game, the tears down pill. It makes my funny number on the left side of the screen go down. No one likes it. It gives you a -0.28 tear rate. Bad pill. -4, deserving of both. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna throw a brick through your window. Give me my tears back. But the tears up pill, I don't think anybody's sad to ever see a tears up pill. It gives you 0.35 tears up. And I don't think there's any scenario where having more tear rate is bad. I'm thinking there is no scenario in which getting more fire rate is bad. This is good. +4. It deserves it. I dream about this at night. It deserves to be at the very tippy top. All right, next up is the luck down pill. What it does, gives you -1 luck. Who would have guessed it? Again, a negative pill, -4s across the board. You're never excited to see this. You're never happy to see this. But on the bright side, I don't think it's the worst like down pill you can find. Yeah, luck is useful, but I mean, you could still get through your entire run with -20 luck, with -50 luck, -100 luck. It's not going to make the game harder unless you have luck-based tier effects. But I mean, you can get through without it. You're a big boy. You guys got it. Luck doesn't matter that much. It's going down there, but like, it's not too bad. Now, I know I just went through the whole spiel about how luck isn't that important. You can get through -100 or whatever. The luck up pill gives you +1 luck. Not a lot on paper, but no one's ever gonna complain about getting more cool stats. You may complain about getting less stats. You know, I'm gonna be part of that party. But luck up, stat up. We see number go up. It's good. Now, usefulness is a +2. It's not fantastic. It can be more useful the more you get, but just 1 luck up pill is not going to do too much for you. Now, we start stacking like 9 or 10 of these boys, then we'll talk. But until then, +2. All right, next up is Telepills. Now, the game classifies this one as neutral. I think it has a lot of cool uses. Now, what it does, it teleports Isaac to a random room. Now, this random room has a small chance to be the I Am Error room. It can be a black market. It can be unattainable in greed mode. It can be different rooms. It can be the challenge room you couldn't get into before. It could be a curse room so you can get out. You only take like 1 heart of damage or something by getting out. Anyways, there's a lot of cool things this can teleport you to. Not always good. It could be bad. It could take you to the I Am Error room and then snuff you out of getting the Polaroid or the negative. But I do think this has a lot of cool uses. Again, you can use this to, I guess, go around the map to get to the boss faster. You can use it to teleport out of a room you're currently in. You can use it to go to the boss rush, steal an item, use the telepills to get out, to go in the boss challenge room or just the normal challenge room, steal whatever's in there, and then teleport out. It does have uses. I do enjoy a good telepills as long as I know I'm taking the telepills. I enjoy taking the telepills when I can, know that I'm gonna be taking it. Anyways, a lot of spieling. It's +2. It's pretty good. It's very neutral in what it is, just because that's how the game ranks it. But my usefulness scale, it's a +2. All right, next up is the 48-hour energy pill. What this one does, it drops 2 little batteries. In case you don't know, little batteries are the one that actually fill up 6 pips of your spacebar item. And it also fully charges your spacebar item. So this one is really good. Okay, I gave it a +3 in usefulness. It has a positive polarity of +3. It is very good as long as you have an active item. Even if it's like not a great active item, this is still useful to you. Obviously, if you have like something, the books that give you soul hearts or black hearts, this is like icing on top of the cake. If you have the D6 starting as Isaac, this is great to find. You get more rolls. You find yourself a Mega Mush, go crazy, a free charge. There's a lot of cool uses for this one. I do think it is very good. It deserves its +3 status over there in the top right of the page. Do I think it's the best? No, but it's useful. It's useful. All right, next up is Hematemesis, whatever you say it as. What this one does, it sets Isaac's red heart health to 1 and then spawns 1 to 4 red hearts on the ground. There's a lot of usefulness for this pill. It's weirdly, it's like a full health pill with extra steps. Exactly how I said it in the comments. That's exactly what it is. Because at the end of the day, you can use this tactfully and have some usefulness to give you more red hearts. Say you're playing the sack machine, or say you're playing the sack room. You go down to 1 red heart, you then pop Hematemesis, so it doesn't take away any of your health and just spawns more hearts on the ground, which then you can then use to then play the sack room even more. Rinse and repeat. It is pretty good. As long as you don't use it when you have a full 12 hearts of red hearts, you'll be fine. It does have its usefulness. It's not super useful, just because it can occasionally spawn only 1 red heart, and you can maybe fat finger and use it by accident to take away all your health by accident. Oops. So it is kind of annoying, but it does have its uses somewhere. So it's still in the middle, but not super high. So the paralysis pill is there just to annoy you. What it does, it prevents Isaac from moving for a whole 2 seconds. Yep, -2 usefulness, -2 polarity. We're just standing still. It's not good. It's not terrible. It's just annoying. That's all it is. It's just annoying. All right, next up is the Can See Forever pill. What this one does, opens up all entrances to the secret room and the super secret room for the current floor. This is actually really, really, really good, especially on some later floors, especially on the Void or something like that. It's even better because those bigger floors can be kind of hard to tell where the super secret and normal secret rooms would be. So if the game just kind of tells you where they are for free, hey, I'll take it. That's pretty good. Saves you some bombs, saves you the trouble. And honestly, if you're trying to make something like Boss Rush or even Hush, this saves you a lot of time as well. And you're able to visit your secret rooms without being able to miss it. And on top of that, if you don't have a map and you just walk through a room, it'll just open up and be like, wow, that's where the secret room is. How cool. It's nice. It's very good. I put it at 3 out of 4. It could be, honestly, maybe a 4 out of 4, but honestly, Balls and Tears Up, I think, are better. This is nice to have, but I think a +3 is perfectly where it's going to sit. All right, next up is Pheromones. This one charms all enemies in the room for a short period of time. I mean, this is technically a positive pill. But if you know anybody who's actually used this pill offensively, they've either played the game for too long or they did it by accident. One or the other. Either way, it may be slightly useful, maybe slightly useful. The game thinks it's a little more useful than I do, apparently, with the polarity being a +2. It's not that good. Like, it's not that good, you guys. I gave it a +1 usefulness. You can use it offensively. I don't think I've seen anybody actually do that before. So it's going there, but like, maybe it's better and I just don't know something. Who knows? Next up, the Amnesia pill. This pill is just so annoying. I don't enjoy it. Nobody enjoys this. What this does, it replaces the map with a question mark for the rest of the floor, basically taking away all of your mapping you had previously had or will ever have for the rest of the floor. Now, obviously, you can pick a black candle to remove this effect after you use Amnesia, but if you then use an Amnesia pill after you pick up black candle, then the map still goes away. So then what's the point of having black candle? I don't know. Whatever. It's very annoying. No one likes it. It's a -4 in usefulness because it's just really annoying. Not only is it annoying, it's really annoying. It's not good. No one likes it. It goes down there with all the bad down things. Okay, next up is Lemon Party. Now, similar to Pheromones, I have never seen somebody use this pill offensively on purpose. And on top of that, it's not even that useful. What it does, it spawns a large yellow pool, similar to Lemon Mishap, around Isaac. Now, it says similar to Lemon Mishap, but the pool is much, much larger than Lemon Mishap if you know the size is there. But what it does, it deals damage to enemies that step on it. Now, if you've ever played Isaac before, which I'm assuming all of y'all have, more than half the enemies fly. And you know what that means? They can't stand on the piss puddle. And therefore, the pill does nothing. Maybe early floors against a Widow, go off king. But on a later floor, with a flying enemy or like Blub or somebody, this does absolutely nothing. Okay? It's useless. Okay, it's not useless. It does have a little uses. If you're like in a room with spiders, you can pop it in there to get all the little guys out of the way, and it's kind of useful there. But like, let's be honest with ourselves. No one's doing this on purpose. It's not that useful. It's a +1. At least it's not negative, right? All right, the Are You a Wizard pill? Tears are shot diagonally outwards for 30 seconds, making it much harder to aim. This effect will persist between rooms until it wears off. So, this pill is a lot like the paralysis pill, but instead of standing still for 2 seconds, you have to stand still for 30 seconds and wait for this to go away. So, as long as you're not trying to hit boss rush and you have at least 30 seconds to spare, it's not bad. Just wait it out. I mean, you even still can go into rooms and fight with this active. It's just kind of annoying and is weird, but like, it's not the end of the world. It's just there to annoy you, which I think it does its job. But I mean, obviously, it's going down there. It's a negative usefulness, negative polarity, yada yada. It's not good, but not terrible. Okay, next up, one of the really good pills you can find, especially for late game bosses, Percs. What this one does for the duration of the room, taking damage only removes a half heart from Isaac. Basically, it's similar effect to the wafer or cancer after you get hit once. It is really good. Obviously, this is only really good after the womb. Before the womb, when everything already does half a heart of damage, just does nothing for you. But if something like a sack room play, fantastic. For later game bosses like Delirium, Mega Satan, it doubles your health, which is fantastic. This is a really useful pill, especially for late game bosses or the sack rooms. Both ways, crazy good to find. Usefulness is 4 out of 4. A lot of usefulness around the board, unless you're playing the Lost or the Keeper. But we don't talk about that. It's still 4 out of 4. Okay, just work with me here. Next up is the Addicted pill. Now, I'm sure a lot of people don't actually know what this pill does, but it's basically like a reverse Percs. What it does is for the duration of the room, taking damage removes a full heart of HP from Isaac, regardless of the damage source. So this is only really bad before the womb. Similar to how Percs is only useful after, or like the womb afterwards, this is only good before the womb and everything is doing half a heart of damage. Like, it's annoying, sure. It's a little useless, but like, it's not bad. Like, you pop it by once by accident, the worst that could happen, oh, you take, oops, 2 hearts of damage instead of 1. Like, skill solution, don't get hit, you never have to worry about it. That's just me. But this one, obviously it's negative, obviously it's pretty useless, so it's going down there, but it's like not that bad. All right, next up is the Re-Lax pill. What this one does, it spawns poop at Isaac's position for a few seconds, and obviously if you have higher speed, which means more poop you can spawn because you can cover more ground on the floor. So this isn't useless. It's a very neutral pill, according to the game. I do think it does have a little bit of uses, especially if you have any kind of poop-related synergy, being Midas Touch, being Hallowed Ground, where it spawns the holy poops. This can be useful, and obviously poops in and of themselves, most of the time are useless, but sometimes they can spawn soul hearts. Sometimes they can spawn pennies and nickels and dimes. Sometimes they can spawn eternal hearts. Okay, there are uses for poops, and having more of them to shoot is kind of annoying. It just takes some time, but it will give you more resources at the end of the day. So it is useful. How dare the game say it's neutral, but I'm throwing it right there. Wow. Next up is the question mark pill, which gives the Curse of the Maze effect for the remainder of the floor. It's annoying. Okay, this is the one where like you use it, and like after you pick it up again, it still says question mark, blending in with all the other pills, because that's just the name of it, and Edmund's trying to trick you and take your goods and take your money and become back his money. You can't let Ed become back his money, you guys. Okay, whenever you see the pill, just memorize the colors. You'll be fine. But again, it's a negative pill. Even if you do use it again by accident, it's fine. Like, it's just an annoying pill, if anything. It kind of just swaps some rooms around. It you know, makes you be like, oh, where did I go next? Okay, it's just annoying. It's negative to everything across the board. It's just, it's there. That's all I know. It's there. Next up is the one makes you larger pill. Neutral, according to the game, and I kind of agree. But what it does, it increases Isaac's size and decreases the pitch of his voice. The effect does not increase the size of Isaac's hitbox. This is the important bit here. Your hitbox size does not increase. Your size in-game visually is the thing that increases, but not your hitbox. That is a very important thing to note, because even after you take 21 makes you larger pills and you're covering up the entire screen, your hitbox is still the size of small child. So like, you'll be fine. The most annoying thing about this, which is why it's useful, is kind of negative, is because after you take 1 or 2 or 3, your size does grow, which means you're taking up more screen. There's more of the screen, which makes it harder to see things behind you. So you get to a point where you're too big and you can't see anything, and you're just taking damage because you just can't see behind you, which is more annoying than anything. So it's not great. It's not bad if we're being honest. I mean, if you take 1 or 2, it's just kind of funny. But if you take like 15, then we need to talk and it's kind of an issue. But like, it's not bad. It's kind of down there, but it's not bad. Now, on the contrary, the one makes you smaller pill. This one decreases Isaac's size and increases the pitch of his voice. This effect decreases the size of Isaac's hitbox. This does decrease the size of your hitbox, unlike the larger pill, which does not increase the size of your hitbox. The smaller pill does decrease your size. So in a weird combination, if you take 20, one makes you larger pills, and one makes you smaller pill, your hitbox size will still be reduced, but even though you'll be big as heck, right? So this is actually super useful. Having a smaller hitbox is so good. There's a reason why Pluto, the planetarium item, is quality 3. Just because the hitbox size is smaller is so good. You take less damage, you can dodge more things, you can go between rocks and poops and spikes easier. Small is good, okay? Usefulness of +3. The game set is neutral. The game is lying to all of us. It's +3. It's going up there. All right, next up is Infested with the exclamation point. What this one does, it destroys all poop in the room and spawns a single blue spider under Isaac and on each destroyed poop. So basically, this just makes blue spiders depending on how many poops are in the room. It's not that good. Like, the game says it's positive, but at the end of the day, you'll get like maybe 2 spiders. Probably just 1 because there are going to be no poops in the room, and you forget what it does because you get it confused with the other Infested with a question mark instead. It's not good. Like, the game says positive +2 polarity. I don't understand who made that, but it's a 0 for usefulness. It does literally nothing. It gives you a spider. Yippee, it destroys 1 thing. That's about it. Like, it's not good. All right, next one is the other Infested with the question mark at the end instead. What this one does, it spawns blue spiders equal to the number of enemies that are in the room. If there are no enemies in the room, it spawns 1 to 3 spiders instead. So this is basically the Infested pill with the exclamation point, but just a little bit better because, in my opinion, being able to use this in an active room against enemies is more useful. And most of the time, there are going to be more enemies in a room than poops in a room most of the time. So I do think it's more useful. Now, is it super useful? Not really. Is it like a small mini room clear if you use it right? Kind of, yeah. But it's not that good. Like, usefulness of +1, at least it's not negative. The game thinks it's a +2. I don't agree. I don't agree that it's a +2. But the game said it, so I guess we gotta listen to it. So it's going right there on my chart. You can't fight me. Next up is the Power Pill. It temporarily grants invulnerability, inflicts fear on enemies in the room, and lets Isaac deal contact damage and has a chance to replenish half a red heart every time an enemy is killed, similar to the game kit effect. So this is just a really good pill. It's very versatile as well. Basically, the possibilities are endless with the Power Pill. You can use it to abuse things like blood donation machines, demon beggars. You can use it to regain health. You can use it to help clear a room. You can use it to get out of the curse room for free. There's a lot of uses you can use for a Power Pill. So I do think it's very good. It's honestly kind of underrated in my opinion. I gave it a +3 usefulness. It's pretty up there. Like, there are better pills than this, but finding a Power Pill is never bad to see just because of things you can use with it. And even if you're someone like the Keeper or the Lost, you still can use it to be useful. You can use it to go in curse rooms for free, to get out of curse rooms for free, deal damage to bosses, deal damage to enemies. You can do anything with this thing. So next up is the Retrovision pill. We all love it. It pixelates the screen and degrades the color for 30 seconds. Pretty hype, I know. The game thinks it's a negative effect. Some would say it's a positive effect. If you're a smooth brain who likes playing with the filter on, this is basically playing the same thing. So it's like this game's not even changing. It's not good. I mean, it's not bad. It just makes the screen kind of funny for a second or two. It's like nothing. This is nothing. It shouldn't even be in the game, but it's kind of funny. So next up is Friends Till the End. So very, very similar to Infested with a question mark, where it spawns like spiders in a room if there are no enemies. This one just spawns 3 blue flies. So it's really just the Infested pill, but worse, if you want to think about it that way, since spiders just innately do more damage than flies do. But it's not bad. Like, you get three buds to fly around with you. How neat is that? You get friends for free? What? You just gotta pay for those. Next up is the X-Lax pill. What this one does, it creates a pool of slippery brown creep underneath Isaac. Now, this is nothing. Like, ice physics. They threw ice physics in Isaac and did nothing else with it besides make it into one pill that no one uses ever. I mean, technically, it's a negative effect. I don't think it's ever impacted anybody negatively in a run ever, unless you use it accidentally in a room and then you slippy slide into some creep on the floor that the brown creep then covers up. I'm creating a scenario in my head to try to make this bad. But like, if we're being real, the pool of creep doesn't even last too long. It doesn't say here. It doesn't last that long. You'll be okay. You just do a little slippy slide and you have a little fun. It's like not good. It's not bad. It just doesn't do anything. Now, similar to the last one, Something's Wrong is kind of the same thing. It creates a pool of black creep beneath Isaac, but instead of making it a slippy slide, it slows enemies that come in contact with the puddle. Now, obviously on paper, positive pill, positive polarity. My usefulness is 0. I've, again, never used this offensively ever. I mean, maybe you can do it, but a similar kind of problem with the lemon mishap pill. Like, most enemies are flying. A lot of enemies are flying. This is going to do nothing to those guys. Yeah, it may slow down some spiders on the floor. Neato, just walk away. You'll be cool. I don't know. It's positive, technically. Not useful, technically. So it's like being covered up by a million things, but it's right there. It's right here. It's right here. So next up, arguably the best pill in the entire game, the I'm Drowsy pill. What this one does, it applies the stopwatch effect, which slows everything, on top of additionally applying the slow effect on every enemy for the entire duration of the entire room. It slows a lot. It slows a lot more than you would think. It is so good. It makes basically every in-game boss trivial. It makes it so easy. Okay, Delirium, issues with him jumping around the room, just make him go take a nap. He goes slow as heck. Mega Satan, issues dodging the fires. Oh, just make him go to sleep and the fires cut off halfway through the room. It's really good. I don't know who said this was a neutral pill. This is a crazy pill. It deserves to be at the very top of anybody's list because it doesn't matter what character you are. This is useful to any character in the entire game. Now, I know Percs and Balls of Steel may not be useful to someone like the Lost or the Keeper, but the I'm Drowsy pill is effective on anybody. You can play anybody in the entire game. It's good. It's good. And next up is the exact opposite, the I'm Excited pill. What this one does, it does the exact opposite. It increases the speed of all enemies and all this stuff for the duration of the room. And this triggers, again, 3 different times in like a similar kind of time frame. So this will affect 3 different rooms potentially. It's kind of annoying. Like, you may possibly take damage when doing this because the speed up is random, so it may catch you off guard. It could be in rooms with something like spiders, which are very kind of unpredictable to tell if they get sped up a whole bunch. So you may take a 1 or 2 hits of damage by accident. So it is annoying, especially on late game bosses or even any boss in general. It's kind of annoying. Now, it's not the worst. It doesn't last forever, right? It's just a few things. And as long as you don't get unlucky, you'll be fine. So again, the game said this is neutral. I don't know why. It's definitely a negative pill. It's not that useful. It's very useless. And it's not the worst thing ever. But like, it's kind of annoying. All right, next up, another contender for one of the cool pills. One of the best in the game, the Gulp pill. Okay, the Gulp pill, it destroys any trinket Isaac has and grants it permanently. I don't know why it says destroys. You basically obtain it. Okay, so if you have a trinket in your health slot, boom, bam, use a Gulp. Now you have it forever. Now you can pick up another trinket. It's really good because there are a lot of good trinkets in the game. And usually the issue with trinkets is you can only hold 1. But then Gulp comes in and now, hey, you can hold 2, maybe even 3 if you find another. But if you find another thing that so you can have multiple trinkets, if you gulp down both trinkets at the same time. It's good. Like, this is a good thing to find. You never not want to find it because most of the time there aren't that many bad trinkets, but you don't want to gulp. So if anything, this gives you kind of free stats as long as you find any kind of trinket. It is very good. It is up there with the big boys, with the big contenders for the best ones in the game. All right, next up is the Horf pill. Now, I may catch some flack here, but the Horf pill, what it does, Isaac shoots an explosive tear with the Ipecac effect, so it will blow up, that deals 200 damage. So, there's a lot of problems and a lot of issues that come with the Horf pill. The way it comes out, the Horf shot of the Ipecac shot obviously can do damage to yourself. And whenever you're first initially using it, you probably will do damage to yourself. But if you know it's a Horf pill, if you know how to aim it, if you know how to direct the damage where you want it to go, it is pretty useful. Now, it is dangerous to use, obviously, just because Ipecac shots are kind of dangerous in and of themselves. Because if you hit a wall that's close to you, you're taking damage. If you hit a rock that's close to you by accident, you're taking damage. So, as long as it's in the right hands, this is slightly useful. Just because you can blow up tinted rocks, you can deal damage to bosses, you can open up secret rooms. There are uses to having extra bombs in the game. It is more scary than anything, and especially if you're taking blind pills, if you have this unlocked, just make sure you're always expecting a Horf pill to come out and stand in the middle of the room, so in case it comes out, it doesn't immediately do damage to you and make you die, right? So just be careful about it. There is some usefulness to it, so I won't say it's negative, but you may take some damage if you're not a professional like myself. So next up here is Feels Like I'm Walking on Sunshine. This is basically the power pill, but just worse, right? Because it does the same thing where it makes Isaac invincible, similar to the unicorn stump. You just don't do any contact damage and you don't heal yourself, similar to how the power pill will heal you if you defeat enemies. So it is useful for some situations, moving in and out of the curse room, just kind of dodging things in general, using demon beggars, blood donation machines. You can do it all for that. It is useful. Not as good as the power pill. Still a +2 across the board. I do think it is decent. It's not as fantastic. Also, I acronymed it FLIWOS. All of my video watchers will now call Feels Like I'm Walking on Sunshine FLIWOS. FLIWOS. Let's go. So next up is kind of a weird pill to rank. The Vurp pill. What it does, it spawns the last pill used. So obviously, the ranking of this pill is very dependent on the pill rotation you have during that specific run and the specific pill you took beforehand. Now, obviously, the strategy here is to hold on to the Vurp pill until you take another decent pill that you want to copy and use again, right? So it is useful as long as you hold on to it. It does have uses. There's no downsides to using it, right? So I do think it is useful. I do think it should go up there because it's basically a mimic of anything else you find, but you have to find the other thing first. Okay, next up, shot speed down. Obviously, it gives you a negative 0.15 shot speed. Now, the game says this is a negative effect. I don't believe that's the case. Shot speed down is more useful than useless, oddly enough. Because in my opinion, there are at least a decent amount of items, Tech X, Trisagion, that benefit from having less shot speed. And even if you have a little less shot speed, I don't think you're going to be missing your shots any less. Because I don't think it's that big of an issue to have a little bit less shot speed. If you have an excessive amount of shot speed downs, then I do think there is a problem, but I think 1 or 2 is perfectly fine, and especially if you find an item that synergizes well with having low shot speed. This is just icing on the cake. It's very nice to find. So weirdly enough, the negative pill is going up. And the opposite, the shot speed up, is a positive pill. Gives you 0.15 shot speed up. I'm saying it's useless. I don't think having high shot speed helps anything. Right? Maybe your shots will land a little faster. Maybe your shots will be a little more straight whenever you shoot them. I don't think that's a big deal. Most of the time, everyone who plays Isaac is used to the base shot speed there is. Getting more shot speed is more annoying than anything. Because even if you have homing, this makes things more annoying to hit because the homing shot will then just fly past the enemy and it won't be able to curve and home onto the enemy correctly. So I think having high shot speed is never good. I don't think there's any item that synergizes well with high shot speed. Compared to the shot speed down, having less shot speed is most likely going to be better most of the time. Shot speed up is going like down here. Like, yeah, technically it's good, but like it's not good at the same time. All right, next up is another weird pill to judge, the experimental pill. What this one does, it increases one attribute and decreases another one completely randomly with the same kind of attribute effects as the other up and down pills we talked about earlier. Now, this is basically just gambling. Let's go gambling. Yippee, aw, dang it. But it's okay. Like, I don't think this is bad, because as we went over before, all the attribute down pills we had talked about before innately give you a little less of a stats down than all the up variants of the pills do. So at the end of the day, if you take enough of these, you will have more stats than you started off with, which is good. You'll eventually get more stats. So, I mean, unless you get super unlucky and only get the tier rate down, then hey, it's probably pretty bad, but just don't get unlucky and be better. But on top of like doing what it does, because it does have synergies with PhD, with Lucky Foot, with Virgo, it is good, because if you have those items with synergies, there are no negative sides to this pill. It will only give you stat ups. Now, they are random, so it may not be the best stat ups, but they're never going to be a stat downs, which is good. So, it's pretty good. I give it a 2 out of wherever I put it. Pretty good. So, last up, for some reason, this pill is not on the list with all the other pills just because it's so special. And just because it's so special, the game didn't give it any kind of negative, neutral, or positive. I just said it was neutral, because a good God is just gambling the pill, but the golden pill. What it does, in case you don't know, it takes pills from outside of the current pool of pills for your run, and whenever you use it, it lets you continue to use it, because there's a small chance it goes away on use, but you can continue to use it until it goes away. So, if you think about it, you can just spam this forever most of the time, because there is also a chance when using it, it verps itself, and it spawns another golden pill on the ground. And this rinse and repeats until you go to the I Am Air room, then you just have to go to the next floor, and then rinse and repeat until you win the run. Now, we love gambling, right? This is true gambling. Okay, every Isaac player I know loves themselves a little gamble. So if you find a golden pill, and don't just spam the heck out of the pill button, whatever button that is for you. I don't think you're a true Isaac player. I think this one is the best thing in the game. But what we need here is more golden pills in our life, so we're just gonna make it. Yep, golden pills. Golden pills are the best. Good job. We did it. So this is the list. What do y'all think? Do I have based opinions, unbased opinions? Here's also another little tier list, actually, of everything I ranked here from my usefulness chart from -4 all the way to +4. But hey, thanks for watching the video, you guys. I appreciate y'all sticking around for however long this video may be. Thanks for watching.